Hello everyone and happy 4th of July. It is Susan Itel with Simple Stamping, and here are come 3 quick videos to help you navigate through your June 2017 Coffee Cafe Stamp of the Month kit. Now, when you open up your kit, you're going to find all sorts of goodness. So make sure you look at the instructions, that the PDF that I sent to you, because I will clearly state what all this stuff on the top is all about. But we're going to go ahead and put that aside, and we're going to start with this card. This card we're going to call card number 1, because I kind of sort of really want to get it over with. I have to tell you, I was sprouting many gray hairs when I was putting this together, and I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, you guys are going to say this is not simple. And after doing 50 of them, I figured it out that it can be considered simple if you have a pattern. And so I hope that this video will help you step by step, because I have some tips and tricks for you that are going to make this a much more enjoyable process. So this is the card we're going to start with. So let's pull out your bag, and in your bag, let's go ahead and take out all of your goodies that are inside of it. Now, you know that I adore the thick Whisper White and the thick Very Vanilla cardstock. And you know, I know that some people say, oh gosh, you're crazy to always use the thick, but I love it, and if I love it, that means you probably love it as well. So in your kit, you're going to see that you have your card base as well as a complete 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and all you do is just go ahead and adhere that. So I'm not going to adhere that because I know you know how to do that. So you have a nice solid base. Then also in your kit, you're going to find this scrap, and this is a scrap of, it's not a scrap because we really need it for the base of your card. These are supposed to be little coffee rings from your coffee cup. Sorry, I had to go get my fast fuse. And all we're going to do is go ahead and adhere this to the bottom base of the card. So you can kind of put your circles whichever way you think it looks a little bit more realistic. So we're going to go ahead and put that on the bottom of the card. And I want to share with you something. If you have a little excess here, no worries. Just go ahead and trim it off. And make sure you check back to my blog on Tuesday, because I'm going to have a great tip for you for a pair of scissors. Wasn't those that I just used, that are amazing. Amazing scissors for when you do envelopes and things with adhesives. So I know I'm jumping all around. Now go ahead and take all of the contents out of your baggie, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take the Whisper White ink, and that is a craft ink, so you're going to have to be careful to make sure that you allow it to dry, and you're going to want to just stamp the ice cubes in the bottom of the glass if you want. If you want to just leave it plain, it's your card. Now in your kit, you are going to say, Susan, you did not supply these straws. Well, there's a reason why I did not supply the straws. I lost that framelit. But in your kit, you have extra of this paper and another card that you can cut your straws. Actually, some people might even find it quicker to go ahead and cut them. They're just 1/4 inch wide rather than using the framelit. But again, it's completely your choice. So let's just go ahead and pretend like we have those straws, and we're going to go ahead and put this baby together. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to take your little corrugated kind of cup holder, and this green glue is just fine with it. Just adhere that to the cup, and make sure that you separate, because I know I have the right amount in your kits, but sometimes they might feel a little stuck together. So there's your card base, and then you're going to take your heart, and I stamped it with Early Espresso, the high. You could easily use soft suede if you would like. Soft suede would be fine. I just thought that the Early Espresso was just a little deeper. But where you're really going to need me is we are going to adhere this together. And once we adhere it together, it's going to totally make sense. I'm going to pull in my trimmer real quick and cut a couple straws. And I'm using this mark here. Can you see that in the screen? That's 1/4 of an inch. I know that that's 1/4 of an inch. So again, naturally my straws are way too long. I'm wasting paper, but I think you will get the idea. And for some of you, you might just say, heck, that is so much quicker than using the Big Shot and using that template. So here we have this, and here is our lid. Now, I stamped the lid with the outline image in the Whisper White as well. And again, actually on the vellum, it dries pretty darn quickly, but you will be able to see if that Whisper White ink is still a little wet. I highly recommend everyone having some Whisper White in your stash. You don't use it often, I admit, but I will say when you do want it, it really does make a really great statement. So with that said, I would use it. Now what I did was I used glue dots to adhere. Now I know that vellum is really kind of tricky, but it didn't, and trust me, I'm very type A, as you all know, it really didn't bother me. Now when my hubby was helping me put together these kits, and yes, John does help me, he's a sweetheart, he's a catch. You will see in your kit that you could have also cut out another one of these and kind of hidden that over. But I have to tell you, that glue dot does not bother me one bit. And, you know, I'm the queen of having things bother me when it comes to hiding adhesives. So what you would want to do is just take your straw, and this is the easiest way to do it. I kind of put the straw where I thought it would end, the height that I wanted it to be, and then I just simply flipped it over and used some tear and tape to anchor it. I mean, how easy is that? Again, this is just, it seems like it's a really difficult card, and trust me, it really took me a couple tries to figure it out, but once I figured it out, I figured it out. So we've got that one done, so let's put that aside. Now let's go to this one. Let's go ahead and take again your straw. So take a straw, and again, if you didn't want to use that designer series paper that I provided for you, you could easily just do a pear pizzazz straw. That would be super cute. Or you could do a white straw. I think I would do some color to have a contrast. Now, this is where you're going to want to watch. You're going to want to adhere your straw down into the ice cubes. We're going to pretend like all the ice cubes are here, but in a way this is kind of good for me to show you without the ice cubes so you can see that you can do it. So you're going to adhere it, and you can see how that straw is just way too tall. But don't worry about it right now. Now go ahead and take your vellum. You can go ahead and put just a wee bit of green glue right here. I'm going to pick this up so you can see it and hopefully see that I really don't have much. I kind of just ran the edge of it across, and then take your vellum piece and put it right over top. Now I just gently rub that green glue back and forth, and I kind of go in a little bit of a circular motion. Have no idea why, but that's what I did, and it seemed to have worked. And that kind of just anchored it. And I have to tell you, I'll put it up, that adhesive did not bother me, and I'm the queen of having it bother me. So now watch this. This is where you're going to want to pay attention. You're going to want to cut your straw off. Just go ahead and cut that straw off. Bye-bye straw, but keep it. Now you're going to want to take your whipped cream, and I stamped the whipped cream in early espresso, but you could easily stamp it in early espresso and stamp it off if you wish, or you could easily just use soft suede. So what you're going to want to do is take your whipped cream and put the cup right up on the edge of it. You following me? So you're putting the cup right up on the edge, and then just take a little piece of tear and tape, and that anchors it. And that way, when you flip it back over, your whipped cream is right on top of the edge of the cup. Now you're going to want to take the piece of the straw that you had cut off, and I just kind of held it behind like that so I knew how I wanted it placed, and then just flip it over. Again, no stressing here. This is really not hard. You just have to follow step by step and it'll work. And then just simply press it down. And there you go. So hopefully that makes sense, because naturally you're mimicking that the straw is going down through the top of the frappe or whatever the cafe drink is. So that is how you do that. Now I want you to watch this. This is the other cool part. Because you are going to be staggering your cups, and I think this is a little too long. We're going to give that straw a little haircut. Burp. And you know what? I don't like that straw sticking straight up. I'm going to turn it to the side just a wee bit, just a wee bit. Okay, that's good. Now you can go ahead and put some green glue on the lower edge there, and then some green glue on the upper corner. Now again, I guess this is really why you love it when I provide samples for you, because you can just look at your sample and figure out how I did it. So that is all there is to it. And again, please, if you need to rewatch the video, or if you need to have me clarify something, reach out to me and I'll be glad to clarify it for you. So now here is the other thing that was the Alleluia dance for me. Using these adhesive strips. These adhesive strips, I have a whole new appreciation for why we all need to have them. This card is a perfect example. I cut them in all sorts of shapes. Now, what I like to do is take one of the long skinny ones and take it right down where the straw was. Now, I want to share something with you because, and trust me on this, I learned by trial and error. These are higher in height than our Stampin' Dimensionals. So with that said, because they are higher in height, it's better to just go ahead and use either all of these or use all of the Stampin' Dimensionals. And I hope that makes sense, because then you'll know that you have different heights. So you want your card not to be lifted up at one point higher than the other. So either use Stampin' Dimensionals the whole way through or use these. And these were super easy. So you can just see how I randomly put some strips down. Randomly put strips down, so then when you go to adhere it to your card, I'm not going to take the time to pull them all off, but when you adhere it to your card, everything is going to be the same height. And you will see by the sample, when you turn it to the side, you see the side of the adhesive strip, but when you hold it, you feel that everything is the same height. So hopefully that made sense, and hopefully you like this card. I thought it was super cute. I have to admit, I kind of looked at it after I did them, and I thought, you know, this would be cool to put some sort of other stamping if it's just like maybe something messy or just something with white, using your white craft ink again. If you have the Playful Pattern stamp set, that would be fun. There's some cute little shapes or like kind of scrunchy looking things that might be kind of fun. So there you go. There is that card. I do think personally that the little bit of the Whisper White, you know, there you can see the Whisper White ink cubes, ice cubes, but I think it makes a big difference peeking through. But again, if you do not have your Whisper White craft ink, no worries. You can just go ahead and make this card without and just use the vellum. So there you go. There's your first card. Go make it and have fun. Bye-bye.